Welcome to God's Own TV.
Almighty God will grant your request.
You know, as a parent, if your child is sluggish, you want to do all you can to make them do what they need to do. We now started saying, John will win you. Said telling Elijah that trauma distorts identity. I've written that one, and we've written that one. So culture now distorts identity through imitation. Culture distorts identity through imitation. I talked about how there was one time that I was just discussing with pastor, and then he told me how that there was a culture in which the men would cut their hands and will send it to their wives to be as a profession of their love. So a lot of the men, they don't have hands. And it's a thing of pride. Imagine, like, you can't do anything, you truly need this woman. Who said yes? They would cut their hands and send it as part of the dowry. I didn't believe it, so I said, no, it's not true. It's too much on the extreme. Till he showed me the video. And I was seeing these men all smiling without hands. They were all smiling, they were happy. And do you realize that men that still have hands, they were second-class citizens. They looked down on them that you don't yet have a wife. Look at you. They looked down on men with hands. So as a man in that culture, what will you be saying to yourself? I need a wife. What am I doing with this? What's the use of this, God? Because they looked down on them. They were nothing in the society. Culture distorts identity through imitation. Nobody is questioning. Say that, hold up. Why am I cutting my hand to show that I love somebody? Nobody's asking questions. It's just culture. So culture is more particular about aesthetics, about imitation, like we said, than value, than wholeness, than depth of insight, than purpose. As long as it has been done, we will continue to do it like this. And a lot of us, even today, especially those that have, grown up in a household in which they are very cultural, in which maybe, the women stay silent, they are not allowed to say anything or speak up for themselves or whatnot. It will shock you how when you ask these women questions, truly, many of them have no ambition. They are so used to being told that their aim in life is to give birth. And I did not know how bad this thing could be till I traveled and I went for my service here. And I taught in a secondary school that was just meant for girls. And I was even pleased that, so they have a school for girls. Wow, that was actually impressive. I thought here it's quite backward and everything. But as I was teaching them, one day I just noticed that they were not very interested in learning. And I was stressing myself. 2 plus 2, 3 plus, oh Jesus. 2 plus 2, 3 plus, they were not interested in learning. And I said, come, what do you want to be in future? Say, I want to marry you. I want husband. Secondary school, JS1. Because I taught JS1 to JS3. I said, come, you don't want to be teacher? I said, I want husband, though. I want husband. So they just sent them to school for the purpose of, just learn how to say something so that your husband will find you attractive. So that you'll be, she's, at least if you say my name is something. She goes school. I want that one. At least if you can do 2 plus 2, I want that one. That's why they sent them to school. Culture can distort identity through imitation. Nobody is asking that, do you have a desire to be anything in life? Because that is what they have seen. It has been like that, so will continue like that. Are we together? So moving on quickly. I wrote here that failure distorts identity through labels. Labels. And when something doesn't work out, the enemy will tell you that you are something. You are a label, whether you are a failure or you are too slow or you are this, you are that. So failure would ensure that you rename yourself. And it's so powerful because there is a law that anyone or anything that names you has power over you. And so you start seeing yourself as that thing that you could not achieve. Instead of you treating failure as simply information, they are treating it as who you are. It's simply a telltale sign to where you are. Because where you are can never be stagnant. You are either growing or you are retrogressing. So instead of you seeing failure as just an information to, okay, you are still in this level, you are now taking it as your identity. And that is the plan of the enemy, to ensure that you relabel yourself. So if you don't do something well, it's like, hi, I knew it. I'm not good enough. Oh, I knew it, I'm too slow. There are many children today, many children today that are called names. In your mind, you think those names are not abuse. At least I didn't call them bastard or anything. But you calling them a label, saying, you are too slow. You are too this. You are too that. You are affecting them. It's going deep inside of them. And the interesting thing is that words are seeds. When it begins to sprout, you will have no idea where it even came from. And many of us today, we are acting out something that was sown into us years ago. Maybe you were not quick enough to eat your food or quick enough to finish your assignment, and then they just said, why are you so slow like this? You have no idea that must have stayed with you. And then whenever you are now going into anything, you are seeing yourself as, I'm too slow. I'm too this. So failure relabels. Till today, I can still remember the person. I can still remember the time. I was so young, very young. But I can still see, it's so clear in my head, the time when my cousin compared me with somebody else. Said, look at you, you are this. See this boy has done. I can still remember when she did that. And I did not know that it stayed with me. I just innocently went to tell my mother that, Auntie this said I'm this, and then she is this. And I was just sad. I did not know it took root or anything. All I knew was just that I was sad that day. And then my mother called her and said, don't you ever compare a child with another child. Don't you ever. Let it not come out of your mouth that this person is eating. Look at you. Don't you ever do that. I did not know the effect till I started growing, and then I was seeing trends in children. And then there was now one time that we started, you know, as a parent, if your child is sluggish, you want to do all you can to make them do what they need to do. For example, they are eating, and then they are now playing with the spoon, looking at the spoon. And you have work, but you need to ensure that they finish their food. So you will see anything you want to say. Do you want sweet? Oh, yeah, eat. Do you want to go out? Oh, yeah, eat. So I noticed that we now started saying, see, John will win you. Started telling Elijah that. Thank you. We started telling Elijah that. John will win you. Oh, yeah, eat. I just noticed that any small thing now. Mommy, I want to win John. Mommy, I'm going to win John. And then you enter the house. Mommy, I win John. Any small thing. If I give him water. Mommy, I win John. I win him. And that's the thing that, see, this thing can breed this competitive spirit. And it can be something that you'll not be able to control if he grows up with it. So I now had to tell all those with us that we should not compare them at all. We should never compare them at all. Just for because children, their minds are like jelly. Anything you plan, just boom, it enters. And then they'll start checking it in their brain, looking at it in different ways, seeing how it goes, and then they can take it to the extreme. But it's just to tell you how failure can distort identity through labels. Now, quickly, moving on. Time is going really fast. I wrote here, finally, that success distorts identity through false destination. False destination. Once the applause comes, there will be a need to camp on the success gained, to preserve other people's perception of you. You know how it is when you finally have mastered something, you don't want to move somewhere else that you don't know. You don't want to move to a new ground because now you're comfortable, you've mastered it. I wrote here that God expects us to shift to another plane, yet we'll keep holding on to what we have mastered. And this is literally the enemy of progress. To break into a new dawn of possibilities by putting behind the past. And then now you're settling for a name or an identity you believe is true, but is a shadow of who you really are and what you are called to do. This is applicable to every human today. That's going into the unknown. That taking up something that you're not familiar with. It's scary. And then I studied at least counseling to a point, and then they said that it is more with the male gender. I have a witness. It's more with the male gender. That you rather stay with something that you know how to do. Once you don't know how to do it, you won't go near it. And then I mentioned on Wednesday that all the wives and mothers are wondering why their husbands don't even want to touch pots. They're like, no, that's not my... It's because they don't want you to taste their cooking. They're afraid. They don't want you to taste their cooking. And I also give an example of how there was one time that, because many times I'll tell pastor that I try to do this, but don't worry. So there was that one time, he now cooked one egg that was so nice. And since that time, I said, this egg is nice. Since then, should I just help you cook egg? Babe, now it's egg. Do you need help? I said, it's me that said you did well. Since then, do you want me to help you? Like, why are you stressing yourself? It's just egg. Since then. So I can understand because he has mastered that now. Let's see what happened if I say, yeah, come and do the second one. You say, no, I'll just stick with the egg. You sort out the rest. But then that can be very deceptive because the Lord wants us to come up higher. Come up higher, come up higher, come up higher. Don't stay with the familiar, especially when He's calling you higher. Don't stay with the familiar. Don't stay with the familiar. Don't. Because how will you learn dependence when you're always sticking to what you know? How?
Hello there, welcome back, and I hope this video has been a blessing to you because trust me, from beginning to the end I was blessed. And if you want to watch more, like you want to watch the rest of the sermon, please go to Davidic Generation Church and watch this video. The title is Identity Part 2, and you are also going to be seeing the link in the comment section or the description box below this video. Okay, so talking about this message, like I said before, it is a blessing and it is so loaded. Like somebody said recently that a lot of people, a lot of adults, they don't even know who they really are. They don't know their real personality and their real character, like who God has really made them to be. There are a lot of people that are thinking that they are introverts, but they are actually not naturally introverts. But they became introverts because of their upbringing, because of their experiences, challenges, and a lot of things like that. That is why we need to be praying that the Lord should restore us, that the Lord should restore our soul. And I believe that our purpose is usually tied to our real identity. And that is one reason a lot of people are not able to know or understand their purpose, because they don't even know who they are. They are not living as who they should be. And taking it to another level, this message is also very important for parent and anyone that is taking care of children or that have children around. There are things that we say to children today that we should not be saying to them. There are some words that we speak to them that we just think that we have spoken, but we won't know that 20 years from now they are going to remember. And those words will also help or contribute to shaping their identity. So we need to be careful. Look at the story, personal story shared by Darasimi Oyor, that they were like unconsciously or unintentionally pitting their children against each other. If they had continued like that, who knows what would have happened? And mind you, some children will hear that and they will not even pay attention to you, but some will take it to heart and they will start living a competitive life. Like they will not be interested in doing anything, but they will only be interested in winning no matter the cost. That is why a lot of adults today, they are not happy. As long as they are not number one, they are nothing, because that was how they were raised. So this is a challenge to us, and please take time to watch the full video. I know that this video has blessed you, but still watch the complete video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget that Jesus loves you forever. Till I come your way again, this is God's Own TV. Bye.